So everyone was getting ready to go for NYSC. Nsukka, that's UNN, were actually at the degree unit of my school computing results for those who were ready to go for NYSC. And so many of my friends had seen their names in the list and they were so happy. But I wasn't seeing my name. And when I went to inquire, I found out that a particular course I did in my second year was missing. They didn't see the result. It was missing second year, and this is me in my final year. Where do I start from? But I saw the results when it was pasted, and I had a B in that course. So how come the results is missing? I was disturbed. I was worried. And then I remembered, back then in our secondary school, when I attended Marist, they used to force us to say the 3 o'clock prayer. Like, we'll be on our beds for siesta, and we must say that 3 o'clock prayer before we go on siesta. And I found myself saying that 3 o'clock prayer reluctantly, like, we'll just be saying it and we'll sleep off. But I remember that prayer. And then I looked at my watch. It was few minutes to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I quickly ran to the chapel, because at the degree unit of the school I attended, the Catholic Church is just close by, and there's a chapel there. So I just, because I had stayed there, I had cried, I had begged this woman. The woman, at that point, she wasn't married and she was already aging. So she was always bitter. She doesn't want to listen to anybody. She doesn't want to listen. So I said, instead of staying there and crying, and my course rep was already inside there with her, trying to sort out the results with her. I said, instead of staying there and crying and wasting my time, let me just go and try this 3 o'clock prayer everybody talks about. And then I said, God, if this miracle happens for me, I will be a devotee for life. I went to the chapel. At exactly 3 o'clock, I was inside the chapel and I started praying. I cried. I didn't even know what to say, because at that point I had lost hope. This was happening around 3, and I heard that in Nsukka they will leave before 6 that same day, and that's the last day of computing results. That means if they don't see my result that day, I will not be going on NYS. I won't be graduating that year. So I went into the chapel. I knelt. I cried. I said, God, if there is really something special about this 3 p.m. hour, then let me see it today. Open my eyes to see the miracle that, happens at 3 o'clock hour. I was just crying and sobbing and, very bitter, very pain. In fact, even as I was praying, I was like, will God even hear this prayer? I mean, it's just a few hours and they will leave. But I poured my heart anyway, and I made God a promise. I said, God, if you answer this prayer, then I will be a devotee all my life. And then I left. I was just walking down to the degree unit, very dejected, very, And then I said, Yemi Sophia, come, run quickly. I started running. Hey, what's happened? Immediately I got there. The woman inside the degree unit said, are you Sophia?